From your gas tank.
First thing I noticed was the smell of gas.
To your bank account.
They asked me, did you write a check for $5,000?
Crooks are costing Coloradans thousands.
Nobody wants to see their personal property damaged.
Tonight, we're warning you about multiple scams aimed at milking victims dry.
I don't even have $5,000 in my account.
How they work and how you can protect yourself and your money.
Over the phone, in the parking lot, at the mailbox, crooks are opening up their playbooks to target unsuspecting Coloradans.
All right, we're going to begin with a tactic called check washing. Thieves alter checks so they can be rewritten.
Denver 7 CB Cotton talked with one victim who saw $5,000 nearly drained from her bank account.
It's scary. It's scary.
Kathleen Bailey was almost on the hook for thousands of dollars.
And I just happened to stop to get a small item at the hardware store, and they told me that my card had declined.
Last week, after her debit card declined, Bailey immediately went to her Chase Bank, which delivered another devastating blow.
They asked me, did you write a check for $5,000? And I said, no, I don't even have $5,000 in my account.
Her bank provided a copy of the check. She remembered making out check $1450, but not to a Brooks Swanson and not for $5,000.
I wrote it to the water department for, I think it was $81.56.
Her bank told her it suspects someone washed the check she dropped off to this USPS blue box, a technique when someone removes the check's ink and rewrites it. Luckily, the withdrawal was flagged as suspicious, so she didn't lose any money, but she did lose sleep.
Yeah, I had to change my whole checking account. And that's a lot of difficulty for some people.
Banking experts say the age-old check-washing scheme is now claiming new victims. Why? Because pandemic-era stimulus checks are drying up, and this type of theft is easy to pull off.
They said it's a huge problem, and that they get 2 or 3 of these complaints every day, and this was just down at District 3.
And Bailey is simply the latest victim.
I did not write this. No. I'm not going to ever use a blue box again. Never. And if anything, I'm going to take it into the post office and mail a check or a letter from inside the post office.
Now, check washing scams have been happening for decades, and the United States Postal Inspection Service has some time-tested advice for your protection. First, if you're depositing mail in blue collection boxes, make sure it's right before last pickup. Second, check your mailbox often and never leave mail in your box overnight. Last, if you're planning to travel, consider having your mail held at the post office. You can also have it picked up by a neighbor or a friend.
All right, thank you, CB. Close call. Now, I'm sure you've heard about the student loan forgiveness announcement. Well, the scammers have heard about it too, and they're already calling Colorado.
So before you pick up the phone, listen to what our consumer investigator Jacqueline Allen found on the other line. And Jacqueline, the scammers actually called me.
That's right, and we are about to play your voicemail. And as you know, these people are using the student loan forgiveness everyone is talking about as bait. Listen to how they're trying to reel you in.
I do have you pre-qualified here for the updated forgiveness program and possibly even loan discharge. It is just imperative that we go over the details as soon as possible, just because it does look like your status will expire soon. But I will keep you on pending status for now.
So many red flags here. First, the government is not allowed to contact you about your student loan unless you have given them permission. So we decided to call these people back. I wanted to find out more about this program.
Yeah, man, we can't help you out here, okay? Go look at your broadcast.
Yeah, clearly not excited to talk to me. So when we called again from another number, it didn't take long for the word payments to come up. Another red flag. The FTC says anyone who's charging you or asking for payments to skip the line or guarantee eligibility is, number 1, a liar, and number 2, a scammer. We recently interviewed a Denver student who paid a company hundreds to get her student loans forgiven. You thought you were going to have your student loans paid off?
Yes. I thought that it was going directly towards my loans, which they said they were.
Contact Denver 7 is getting results, though. That company has since refunded all of her money, claiming in an email it was a simple misunderstanding. We followed up with her tonight. Was this a misunderstanding?
I don't think it was a misunderstanding. I just think that they were caught. I feel like I wouldn't have got the refund if I hadn't reached out to you guys and actually got the word out about it. I just want to say to everybody, be careful out there. Everyone is getting scammed from left to right.
I couldn't have said it better. Bottom line, the Department of Education is working on applications for the loan forgiveness program. It will be free and easy, possibly all automatic, but that's all still being figured out. You can't apply yet, but you will hear about it from reputable sources, not a sketchy phone call. For Contact Denver 7, I'm Jacqueline Allen.
It is a minefield out there. Jacqueline, thank you for that. Very helpful. Now, another scam to be aware of. The Denver Sheriff's Office says crooks are spoofing police phone numbers, making it appear the department is the victim, calling the victim. Now, the scammers tell the victim they have been fined for failing to appear in court. They're told to wire the money to pay for the fine or to bring money to someone at the courthouse. Well, the sheriff's office says deputies would never contact people over the phone like this or request in-person wire payments. Now, authorities say anyone who may have been targeted by the scam, report it to the Attorney General's office or the Denver DA's fraud hotline.
And you just might want to think twice before leaving your car at RTD's Central Park station. Video shared with Denver 7 shows gasoline pouring from a pickup truck that was targeted by gas thieves. The owner says this happened while his family was at a Rockies game. On top of losing gas, the owner says it cost $4,000 to replace his tank. RTD tells Denver 7 that it has more than 20 cameras at this station. Well, a woman we talked with says her friend was told by police those cameras don't always work.
They went to the police, the camera don't work.
They don't work?
Don't work for years, don't work.
And it's not just gas theft happening at this parking lot. Our crew there today was rolling as police arrested this man for stealing a bike and a backpack from a woman. RTD tells Denver 7 that it does have regular patrols out at the parking lot and that the agency is working with Denver police on all reported incidents.
Always smiling, with a love of dancing and music and food. That is how loved ones are remembering a Greeley woman who was killed late Friday night. Police say Angie Vega was closing up NoCo Nutrition store when someone broke into the business, and they believe that person killed this 22-year-old and put her body in the back seat of her car. And today we talked to Vega's mother, who said her daughter was an inspiration to her siblings.
She would do whatever she could to just make you smile. I don't think we really have many pictures that she wouldn't be smiling, even though she was the shortest of them all. She just seems so strong.
Marcos Viejo is the man police say killed Vega, tonight facing first-degree murder charge and sexual assault.
Denver police have released photos of a suspect connected to a homicide. Investigators say he was involved in a double shooting late Friday night near 10th and Sheridan. 35-year-old Nathan Martin was killed in that shooting. Another person was wounded, and police were hoping that someone will recognize him and come forward to identify him. Tips can be made to Denver Crime Stoppers, and you can stay anonymous.
A new filing shows the Justice Department has completed its review of potentially privileged documents taken from former President Trump's South Florida estate. The filing says the Justice Department has identified, quote, a limited set of materials that may contain attorney-client privilege. Now, the filing also says the DOJ would reveal more information later this week. Earlier this month, the FBI agents found confidential and top-secret material at Mar-a-Lago, and over the weekend, a judge signaled she would grant Trump's request to have an independent attorney review the documents that were seized.
A stark warning from Colorado Secretary of State. In a new interview, Jenna Griswold cautioned that the future of election freedom will be on the ballot in November. Griswold told The Guardian there are candidates running for major offices in November that continue to deny the results of the 2020 election. And she says if those candidates are elected, it could mean new hurdles to cast ballots in future elections.
There are nominees for Secretary of State who are election deniers running in Nevada, Arizona, Michigan, Minnesota, and New Mexico, just to say a few. And I think what we can expect from these candidates is putting up barriers to make it harder for Americans to vote should they win.
Griswold is up for re-election this fall, and she is facing Republican nominee Pam Anderson, who tells Denver 7 that she trusts Colorado's election.
Well, there'll soon be a new person in charge of the San Luis Valley's District Attorney's Office. Today, Ann E. Kelly was appointed by Governor Polis as a DA for the 12th Judicial District. Now, Kelly replaces former DA Alonzo Payne, who resigned in July for failing to comply with the Colorado Crime Victims' Rights Act. That followed a series of reports by Denver 7 Investigates exposing numerous complaints against Payne, including questionable plea deals and failing to follow up with victims. Well, Kelly says her top priority will be restoring trust in this DA's office.
Dignity and respect for victims is a personally and deeply held belief of mine, and I am committed to our office. Our office is committed to bringing that to the Valley.
An independent monitor put in place during Payne's tenure will continue to oversee the DA's office for the next 6 months, and Kelly will serve as DA until at least January. Now, the San Luis Valley DA is an elected position, and voters will vote on that in November.
A special surprise for some youth football players. This evening, 12 children from A Precious Child got to go on a shopping spree at Dick's Sporting Goods with Broncos kicker Brandon McManus.
We want everyone to have a chance to play sports. Not only is it a fun thing to do, it teaches you a lot with teamwork and leadership, and so just to be out here and help give them as much as they can, helps them to succeed. That way they're not struggling or trying to figure out where to get the money so they can help their kids play sports.
Each child was given $150 to spend from Dick's and the Project McManus Foundation.
A truck stolen from a Colorado group that helps feed Coloradans.
If we are not able to pick up that food, I mean, that's 2,000 pounds of food less a day.
Why replacing this truck is vital, and how you can help.
Radar screen pretty much empty tonight. We have a lot of hot weather coming our way this week.
Plus, with the preseason now in the books, the new owner of the Broncos shares what he expects as the team opens the cover on the regular season.